Hey, everybody. Welcome back to BigRedEDC and welcome to this Veterans Day Live. Now, this is super impromptu. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to make a post on Instagram right now. Um, yeah, just really wanted to come live, and I really wanted to get out and talk to some other veterans in the knife and EDC community. Um, I'll talk. We'll talk. All are welcome. Don't get me wrong. But if I tell you what, if you're a veteran and you're jumping in, yes, sir, another live, Bad Monkey. If you're a vet, please, in the live chat or when this is over, uh, just tell me what branch of service and your years of service, if you don't mind. Because to be perfectly honest with you, I'd like to thank each and every one of you that join. I would greatly appreciate it. Hey, Chad, what's up, buddy? Yeah, we're just kind of, I don't know. It's Veterans Day. I just felt like doing a Veterans Day live, talking to those who have served, and like I said, though, all are welcome by all means. But yeah, I tell you what, brother, I'll take it. A veteran of the police force, you're more than welcome, my friend. More than welcome. So, but yeah, if you would, let me know your branch of service, or in your case, Paul, Army, 5 years. Right on, brother. Right on, Bad Monkey. Thank you very much for your service. So, hey, Alex, what's up? How are you? So, yeah, if you guys would, hey, Lisa, Peter, Ethan, Didier, how are you? How are you? I know all are. You don't have to be a vet to be on the live stream, please. But I do ask that if you are a vet, let us know. Let us know your branch of service and how many years you served, or your years of service. You can do it in the chat. I would really appreciate it if you do it in the comments afterwards, so I can make sure I personally thank each and every one of you. So what's up, KC? How you doing? Drug Squad, 7 years. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Very. Wow. Well, thank you for your service to the good people, trying to keep them safe from drugs and everything like that. That's absolutely awesome. Ah, Lisa, Army, right on. How many years? How many years were you in the Army? All right, Casey. I don't know how long this is go, so you might want to check back and drop in later on. Dad's going on 20 years in Seattle. Right on. I'm up in that neck of the woods, so very cool. Jimmy, Army, thank you very much for your service, brother. Frank, Army, 86 to 89, National Guard. Awesome. Police officer, damn, brother. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service, not only to the nation, but to your community as well. Thank you. Very cool. I actually came in 89. I served from 89 to 2009, United States Navy. That's why we got the old, let me see if I can show you here. There's a big old Navy knife back there. Yes, sir. Zach, what's up, buddy? I did not serve in the Marine Corps, but I had to put this out there. If you guys watched my unboxing of the care package, SMKW Army care package last night, this was in it, the K-Bar Fighter USMC. That's just absolutely awesome. So that had to be out there today for sure. Thank you very much, Zach. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Snuggle Tummy. Yeah, very cool. Kevin, hello. Thank you. Hello, Paul. Hello. Very, very cool. Yeah, I don't know. I just got this wild hair to go live on Veterans Day. And yeah. Okay. Well, KC, I don't know if you've left yet, but if you're still here, I'll answer your question here a little bit later on. I just got your text, man. Hey, Calvin and Hobbs, what's up? Very, very cool. But yeah, Greg, hello. Hello. Okay. A quick answer to your question, Casey, is yes. I would say yes, but we'll talk later. Um, so yeah, uh, I served 20 years in the Navy. Oh, Benny, thank you, man. Thank you very much. Very, very awesome of you. Yeah, please, guys, if you join the live stream and you're a veteran, please let us know. I would love to know. Leave it here in the chat. Leave it down in the comments. If you want to share some stories, by all means, that's what we're here for. I know some of us have stories that we'd like to tell, and then some of us have some stories that we don't want to tell, and that's perfectly all right. And that's the way it's. I'll give you a little bit of a story. I'll tell you one of my stories. I reported on board my first submarine, the USS Philadelphia, and it was sometime in 1991. And I had just reported on board. I'm brand new. I mean, basically don't know anything about being on a submarine or submarine life. And I find out that I'm married. Danelle and I both made it to in Connecticut. We were in Connecticut. And I had been there maybe 2 weeks. And we're supposed to go out on this little, week-long, 10-day, just a little cruise, training, all that good stuff, right? Proficiency, all that gives. Make sure you're battle ready, right? Well, we leave. We leave for that 10-day patrol, op, whatever you want to call it. And we end up coming back nearly 2 months later. So, hey, Born of Blades. 91, Desert Storm era. Yes, we had weaponry on board that was deemed necessary to the war effort, and we got shipped out to a really, really, pretty close to the Med, and did what we had to do. So that was my first experience of ever being on a submarine. So that was quite interesting. Quite interesting. Hey, David. Very cool. Yeah. John, hello. Nordra, how you doing? So yeah, that was kind of my introduction into the real military. Up until that time, I had been, boot camp. I'd been in training in school, and had nothing, no idea what I was getting myself into. But I learned very, very quickly. So, did it take time to get? No, yes. That's yes. It did take a little bit, but I never felt out of place. Oh, thank you, Lorenzo. How you doing, buddy? Well, and that's just it, Peter. Like you said, front lines or supply lines. It doesn't matter because it takes it all to work. You're exactly right. So, oh, you were on the Stennis. Oh, very good, David. Very good. So, yeah, and I tell you what, guys, that's big. That's the biggest reason I probably ended up in the military. My dad was in the Army Air Corps at the time. It wasn't yet the Air Force in World War II. What I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 uncles that either served in World War II, Korea, or Vietnam. And I grew up listening to their stories. And, these are the men that I respected, my mentors that taught me everything I know about being, a person, a man, and just men that I greatly, greatly respected. And that's pretty much how I ended up in the military. So it was, yeah. Sorry, guys. Just thinking about that's got me a little, because they're all gone now. So, yeah. Hey, TPK. It should be coming. Here's one of the, if it'll, no, darn it. It's hard to get these things to focus because there's so many words on them. But come on. Doggone it. It just will not focus on it. There it is. Kinda. Anyway, it's a Zippo lighter for veterans. So yeah, I mean that was the biggest reason why I ended up in the military. Just listening to their, yeah, and I know we have a lot of vets, David. We have a lot of vets in the community. I hear you, Paul. I hear you, without a doubt. Very much so. As Paul is in Nice Slicers. I'm sorry, I've got a couple Pauls in here, so I need to be more direct. My apologies, guys. So yeah, and I mean, and then my son. My son decided to follow in my footsteps. He was a submarine veteran as well. He did 5 years in the submarine service. He just realized that it wasn't for him. It got him what he wanted. He wanted, help with college and that type of thing, and that's what got it. Oh, very cool. Army Challenge coin. That's awesome, Lisa. So yeah, it's really cool. It's like being in a room with no windows. That's really what it is. You don't even know you're really doing it. But thank you, David. Thank you very much. So thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. There you go. There's Larry. How you doing, my friend? Thank you very much for your service. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it was just kind of like I said, it was an impromptu thing and trying to get veterans in the community together. Like I said, well, I tried to schedule a live last night and that just didn't work. I ended up doing it a lot later than what I wanted to, but you know what? There was like 40 of you that jumped in. So that was awesome. I got to talk to y'all. We got to look at some stuff. Like I said, this K-bar, the USMC K-bar came in it. This copper mini Griptilian from the SMKW custom shop. Very, very cool. Hey, Bell's Blade, what's up? Yeah, that K-bar is pretty awesome. Without a doubt. I have a couple of Marine Corps vet friends that I only have one knife, so I'm a little bit like, Does Blue have his knife? No, it's right here. It's sitting right here, but this was also, this was also in the box last night. But it is this really, really, really tiny Rough Rider. And I mean, it works. It operates. Little tiny Warncliffe blade on it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they called it a Warncliffe. It's almost like an earring. I mean, yeah. That's what a lot of the comments were, because I mentioned that last night. I get another one, I could make a set of earrings. I wonder if Nellie would wear them. No, she wouldn't. Gosh, she hasn't worn earrings in I don't know how long. But yeah, it is pretty neat. I think they were like $4. I think on smkw.com. I think they go for like $4. Somebody said something about the red smock. Yes, indeedy. Love the red smock. Yeah, that would be legal in California. But yes, I am really, really enjoying the red smock for sure. Really, really appreciative of Manny Z to sell it to me. It's hey Grom, what's up? Rattlesnake rattle earrings. Yeah, I've seen those. Paul, hello. Happy Veterans Day, my friend. Hey, speaking of the devil, there he is. Yes, red and M390. Yeah. It's a pretty darn good combination in my book, but yes, indeedy. Great knife. Great knife for sure. You can't stop staring at the OG. Yeah, that's a pretty nice one too. I mean, it's pretty simple. Right on, Peter. I still have one. I still have one open. But yes, this is the OG micarta M390 titanium. Just another fantastic from design from Ray and Sanford. It's a collaboration between the two of them. Collaborative design. Oh, you out, Zach? All right, buddy. Oh, he's name dropping. He's name dropping again. Have fun, buddy. Have a good time. Yeah, this is, oh man, so much fun. Yeah, I don't know how guys wear earrings like when they play football. Those big old dangly. Yeah, I don't know how they do that. That's just horrible. I couldn't imagine doing that. Hey Scott, hey William, how you doing? If I've missed you coming in, please let me know. And if you have come in and recently, if you are a veteran, I would love to know. Please let me know the branch of service you were in, and I mean how many years you served or whatever. I would love to know. I would love to know. Right on, Born of Blades. Army vet, very cool. Very cool. Thank you for your service. Very, very cool. Peter, I got to tell you, man, this thing, I am so digging it. The Black Stallion from Off Grid. And again, I about had to wrestle it away from Nelly. She just, I don't know what it is about that girl and these big knives. William, Air Force, 6 years active. Thank you. Thank you for your service, my friend. She just gravitates towards these big old knives, and she doesn't have very big hands, but she just loves them. But it's so comfortable, and that blade is just so wicked and so, I mean, like I showed you in my video. Well, no, I haven't posted that video. I haven't made that video public yet. I made it viewable for channel members. It'll be coming out here in the next day or so to the public, but the ropes I use at work don't stand a chance against this thing. Holy smokes, kid. Wow. This thing chews it up. Yeah, I think she's the same way, TPK. She just really likes the bigger knives. Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much. Hey, Spectre, what's up? Yeah, I'll get that copper bench made back out here again. But man, this big old honking Black Stallion from Off Grid Knives, guys. But yes, this is the copper custom shop knife from smkw.com. And yeah, I love. I'm usually not big on all copper scales, and maybe that's because I've always seen them like shiny. But this one actually came with like basically pre-patinaed, and I know some people won't like that. I know that. I know some people won't because they like to have the knife patina themselves. So they'll actually probably shine it up and put their own patina on it. It's just more personal that way. And I get it. I get that. For sure. You know, with me, I'm not, you know, that's not as big of a deal to me personally. So, but oh yeah, I'm digging it. I don't even know. It does have a bit of lock stick though. So I still haven't figured out how to get that. No, I don't. I'm pretty sure this is not what they call the shipwreck. I'm pretty sure what they call the shipwreck, Rick, here, and I'll look, is basically when you get more of the blues and greens like this, you know, on the ones that BJ did for me, Hilltop Knives and Gears. I'm pretty sure this is more of what they consider shipwreck. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Grom. And yes, they did. They did put up a video on how they do it. So, oh, come on. Sorry, I'm not slapping you guys. Just trying to get it back to the, and it doesn't want to do it. So, come on. There it goes. There it goes. Got to trick it. So, but yeah, that's just like a regular patina, you know, normal copper patina. And then this is what they kind of refer to as the shipwreck patina. So, yes, indeed. Well, if you drop it in the water, if it's not very shallow water, you're probably not going to see it again. Hey, John, how are you? Thank you very much. Monster, hello, hello. How are you? We're just kind of BSing here. We're just having a good old time talking about knives. It's Veterans Day. I wanted to get on, talk to you guys, talk to the veterans in the community. So, like I said, guys, if you are a vet, please let me know in the comments or in the live chat. I'll greatly appreciate it. Hey, Penny, how are you? Brian, hello. Thank you very much. The Marshallist, hello. How are you? What was my carry in the service? For the first, I'd say probably for the first 10 years, and I don't have one up here with me, I carried a buck 110. Thank you very much for your service, John. Thank you. I carried a buck 110 for the most part. And I don't really know why I stopped carrying it. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I do know why I stopped carrying it. I got to a command or a posting that they gave us Gerbers, and I started carrying a Gerber, and I kind of lost. Because I didn't want to have two sheaths, so I kind of lost the 110, and I started carrying. I carried a Gerber paraframe for a while. I know, but you know, it did what I needed it to do. So that was pretty much that's pretty much what I carried most of the time. My last bit in the Navy, I kind of stopped carrying a knife per se, and usually always had a multi-tool. I mean, I had a knife from time to time, but it was really the multi-tool a lot. And yeah, I did have a Leatherman too, I guess, for a while. I don't know what happened to that one though. It just kind of disappeared. So yeah, I just saw Rick's comment there about the knife, the channel chat with KC. That was a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, after I'm done doing this live a little bit later on this evening, I'm actually going to be doing I'm going to be recording another channel chat with what I think I'm going to title it The Youth of EDC. And we've got a few younger members of the EDC community who have started channels. So I'm going to get a few of them together, and we're going to have a chat about EDC. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I mean, I can look at my analytics, and it tells me the age groups and stuff that do or do not watch my channel. And the under 25 crowd is very, very, very non-existent as far as my analytics go. We'll put it that way. So I think it'll be good to get them together and talk to them. And okay, you want a silly submarine story? Oh, I got one that immediately comes to mind. Okay. So, all right. And it's kind of hard to visualize, but I'll do the best I can. So in a submarine, there's basically, on the fast attack submarines, there's basically two different main compartments of the submarine. You have the forward compartment and you have the aft compartment. Well, I know that's really intuitive and stuff, right? But because one's forward and one's aft, so that just makes the most sense. But kind of the hallways, the passageways, as we call them, to get from one, you go to basically the bulkhead, which is a wall. I'm going to talk a lot of Navy terms, and then the passageway kind of turns what we would call athwartships, which means it doesn't run the length of the boat, it runs the width of the boat. The passage runs east to west, if you will allow me to do it that way. So, and it's a short little hallway. It's probably, I don't know, we'll say 15 to 18 feet. Well, one of the guys that I work with, he was from Texas. No names will be mentioned to protect the innocent or the guilty in this case. My first submarine, he did not realize that that flatulence was flammable. Okay. Are you with me so far? Thank you so much, K20. So, I tell you what, Ethan, hang on to that, and I'll try to finish this story and answer your question. Okay. So he didn't realize it. So we told him that, and he's like, kind of simply, yeah, kind of. So that was his mission for quite some time. So now you have to understand that we were on a longer patrol. I think this was like a 95-day patrol. When you're under the water for that long, you find things to amuse yourself, right? So this was his mission in life, apparently, is to light flatulence. So one time we're in this hallway, right? And picture this, he's on his back, all four limbs in the air like a stranded turtle, with a Bic lighter in his hand. And apparently he's got something good brewing, and he intends on lighting it. So he's in this position, and through the hatch or the passageway from the forward to the aft compartment comes the executive officer. The executive officer is the second in command on the submarine. He's not the commanding officer, but he's the executive officer. He comes through. He sees my friend laying there on the deck, flicking this lighter, right? And the XO just looks at him and says, "Good evening, Petty Officer so-and-so," and just keeps on walking. And this guy, I look down, and this guy is just looking at me, and I'm like, don't, no, this is all you, brother. This was not on me. So, well, I mean, so it's, yeah, that's a silly submarine story for you. That's one of them. So, the question was, and I forget who asked it, but what was sleeping like? Sleeping on a submarine is like sleeping in a 3-sided coffin. That is exactly what it's like. You have walls on all sides except one. So, and the side that doesn't have a wall just has a curtain. And that's, I mean, the portion where we call it the rack pan, because in the Navy we call them racks. This is where you sleep. We don't call them a bed. We call them a rack. And they're stacked 3 high. So, but you lift that up, and your rack pan is underneath that. And you have about, your rack pan is probably about 4 inches deep. It's about 4 inches deep, about 24, 30, maybe 30, 32 inches wide, and then about 6 to 6.5 feet long. So if you were a really tall guy, you were kind of sucking. So that's just the nature of the beast. Oh, that happened all the time, Steve. All the time. You'd walk into those berthing areas, especially after they'd had something like beans and weenies for dinner or something. Oh, those berthing rooms. Oh, quite saucy. Quite saucy. Oh. So yeah, that was show the small black knife. This small black knife, the ProTech SBR Auto. Yes, indeedy. I think pretty sure Slicey was the one that referred to this as a little bulldog of a knife, kind of like I did with the Kaiser Contrail, and it's true. It's an awesome little knife. Yep, S35 VN steel on it. Hey, Hollywood. Oh, I'm just telling sea stories and all that other good stuff. Oh, you're doing sit-ups? Right on. Okay, so, but there's the SBR. Sorry, David. Make sure you get to see it there. So another story time. More stories? I can tell you another story. So I was yes, I was on a submarine. I did most of my time on the smaller fast attack submarines, but I did my last 3.5 years on one of the larger Trident submarines. That's what I retired from. Another story, kind of a goofy, silly story. So I worked in sonar, and in the sonar shack is kept very dark because we have visual displays, and then we also listen to audio to hear what's out in the. Oh, cool, Hollywood. So you can hear what's out there in the ocean, because you're basically the eyes and ears of the submarine when you're submerged as sonar. So it's kept very dark. Well, and the screens are that green kind of, almost like the green glow sticks. It's almost that bright green, a little toned down from that, but not a lot. But we also have those green glow sticks in the shack as well, in case you need a little bit extra light. You don't want to turn the lights up. You don't want to flash flashlights, so you use those green glow sticks, right? So we had a new young sailor. He's pretty new to the boat, and he was learning. He wasn't really qualified to do the job yet, but he's learning. Oh, we heard whales all the time, Rick. That's what you heard most of the time was whales. Without question. Whales, dolphins, shrimp, boing fish. You can hear storms. You can hear underwater earthquakes, underwater volcanoes. I can neither confirm nor deny, nice slicers. And so he's a new kid, and I see, he's got one of these glow sticks because he's taking logs. We have to take logs on what we see. So that's his job, is he's taking logs. And yeah, most of the time that's what we did, Ethan. You were just out on patrol. I'll get to that, monster. So this kid, he's got his glow stick and he's taking his logs. And then he's sitting there, and then I hear this really strange sound. I'm like, what is that? And I hear it again. And I realize it's this young kid, this new sailor on board, and he's sitting over there and he's whimpering. Oh, Army, right on. Thank you very much for your service, Knife Nut. So yeah, a glow stick. No, not quite a rave. Not quite a rave. It's what we used for light in this dark shack. And I hear he's sitting there. He's going, he's like whimpering. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? And he just keeps that like, Next thing I know, I see this bright green drool coming out of his mouth. All right, Casey, we'll talk to you later, buddy. Thank you very much for joining in. Great to have you, my friend. So he's got this bright green drool coming out of his mouth. I'm like, dude, did you put that stupid glow stick in your mouth? And he's like, and it broke on him. And so he's got this green crap all coming out of his mouth. And I'm like, I don't know if this stuff's toxic. Oh, I'm like, dude, go down to the head, which is the bathroom. I was like, go, Jesus. And he's dripping this green drool all the way behind him. And people are coming into sonar and going, what did this idiot do? And I was like, it's pretty obvious what he did. So yeah, that's kind of another little goofy submarine story. And I tell you what, nice slicers, I'm sorry I answered your question like that, but that's definitely one of those questions that that's pretty much how I'm going to answer it. So certain things you can talk about, certain things you can't talk about. I don't know, Peter. Maybe. I don't know. I hope not. But you never know. You never know. So there were times on the submarine when the oxygen level would get so low that you couldn't light a match. You couldn't light a lighter. Oh, yeah, we did exercises like that all the time, Rick. Oh, yeah, sure. We did exercises with our Navy. No, he didn't get sick, John. He did not get sick. That was a good thing. He did not get sick. Oh, yeah, we played war games all the time. We played against the U.S. Navy, against the Canadian Navy, the British Navy. Oh, for sure. That was always a lot of fun. Always a lot of fun. Yeah, the oxygen would get so low because we'd have to stay submerged. And I mean, and you can make your own oxygen. You actually make your own oxygen out of water. You basically take in water to the oxygen generator, you split the oxygen and you split the hydrogen, and you save the oxygen and discharge the hydrogen overboard. But you can imagine that the oxygen generator is also known as the bomb, because not only do you have, at one point you have pure oxygen in it, but you also have pure hydrogen in it. And the process to do it is electrolysis. So yeah, you can imagine. Oh, excuse me. Oh, goodness. So yeah, that's hey, DC. Oh, happy Vets Day, man. You're active right now? Very cool. So yeah, that was, yeah, there's a lot of things. Fires. We had a couple fires on board, nothing too serious. Oh, right on. Very cool. Well, thank you for your service. Thank you very much. So yeah, had a couple fires on board at different times. Fire is probably your worst enemy on a submarine because it consumes oxygen. So yeah, that's not good. Yes, that's all we had in our, that's all we have in the, by the time I got in. We did have, there was one diesel submarine left, but it was more of a training platform. So trust me, it can happen, Ethan. It can definitely happen. So, hey, Ohio, what is up? Oh yeah, diesel boats are long gone. Other navies around the world still use them, but not here. Not here. The Brits still have a lot of diesel boats in the British Navy. Yes, indeedy. They're not. Well, we don't use them for that anymore either, Ohio. There's no diesel boats left, and haven't been for quite a few years. Other navies around the world use them for coastal defense, but not here. Not here. Yeah, that is a funny movie. That is a pretty funny movie for sure. Yes and no. That's how I'll go with that, Hollywood. Yes and no. They were for a while, and then, yeah, they kind of caught up thanks to a couple of people, but no, I haven't glowed yet. I haven't glowed yet. They're very limited. Diesel submarines, that's the only problem with diesel submarines. They're just very limited because diesel submarines have to come up to snorkel. They just have to, because they have to charge their batteries. So they're they're just limited, really limited range as far as their stealth is concerned. But yes, when they're on the battery and they're doing their job, yeah, they're very, very, very effective. We did. Oh yeah, they're still German. The Germans have always had good submarines. Unfortunately, World War II, I mean, they were the first ones to really pioneer submarine warfare as a tactic, and they did it very, very well. So yes, that is correct, Ohio. All modern submarines are ours are nuclear powered. Yes. Hyman G. Rickover. was basically the father of Navy nuclear power, saw to that. So, hey, Jason, what's up? Yeah, it was just it just kind of ended up being a spur of the moment type of thing. Pretty much impromptu. We're just BSing, talking about, I'm telling silly sea stories, talking to vets. Yeah, very true, Hollywood. There's Stuart. Stuart is also a veteran of our good friends to the north. Thank you very much for your service to your country as well, my friend. Good one, TPK. But yeah, let's see any other goofy stories. Very true, Stuart. Very true, without question. So, well, you know what? We're here on Veterans Day, so you know what? Let's just toss this guy out here real quick. This is the Boker Patriot. Very nice knife. This comes to me courtesy of my good friend Peter at Therapeutic Eds. Good one. Yes, the Boker Patriot, a very comfortable knife for me. And it's one of those knives that it has the multiple finger grooves, so I know it might not be comfortable for everyone, but it is in my hand model story, okay. Yes, it is it fits me extremely well. Nice little lockback knife. Just 154 cm on it. Really a nice slender profile. Yeah, very comfortable. Very comfortable. Well, I mean, it's funny because, even the cartels were using submarines. The cartels were using submarines too. And that's what, after the Cold War, and the Cold War kind of, sort of in that time frame, we were using submarines for drug interdiction. So a lot of the guys, that was back when right before some of the older submarines got decommissioned. They weren't going on the longer patrols because they were older boats. So they were staying kind of close to home. So they were doing kind of like other countries do with their diesel submarines. They were coastal defense, but they were doing drug interdiction. Now that would have been fun. I think that would have been all sorts of fun. Tracking drug boats and stuff like that. That would have been a blast. I never got to do that. How do you steal a submarine? Have a lot of guys that know what they're doing and get really lucky. What kind of artillery? Most of the time, torpedoes. We always went to sea with torpedoes on board. Yeah, that is true, John. That is true. Yeah, I posted that picture on Facebook of me in my camouflage boonie hat. Yeah. When we're underway like that, we could do certain things that they wouldn't allow us to do when we were in port. Like, when we're underway, you wear just blue coveralls. We called it a poopy suit. It's just light blue coveralls. That's all they are. And you could wear ball caps. You could wear your favorite football or baseball team ball cap. Underway, you always wore tennis shoes. So, I see your question, Ohio. I'll get to it real quick. You could buy. We had what we called the MWR on board, the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, and that's basically how we did fundraisers. To do family cookouts and all that other good stuff. And you could buy what they called a beard chit. So you paid your $5, and you carried around this little piece of paper that said you were allowed to grow a beard underway. You had to keep it, up above your chin, because your breather mask, your OBAs, your EAB masks that you have to wear during a casualty, they have to be able to make a seal. So you had to keep it, trimmed up to a point where you could really keep your seal. So, but they'd let you grow a beard underway. You obviously had to be clean shaven and stuff when you pulled into port, wherever it was, overseas, back in the States, wherever it was, you had to be clean shaven. The question, Ohio's question was, have I ever shot a submarine? Oh, we shot shot torpedoes for practice all the time. Yeah, we sure did. You'd have to go out, you'd have to get evaluated. You'd go through evaluations, and you'd have to launch torpedoes and stuff, exercise torpedoes. They weren't on your face, Hollywood, on your face. You could have a mustache. You just couldn't have a beard. No, John. No, I didn't. So yeah. What's the weirdest sound I ever heard underwater? Good question. Through sonar, the weirdest sound I ever heard was ice. The ice cap. When the ice would rub together, it would almost sound exactly like a woman screaming. That was very, very eerie. Very eerie. It was, that was wild. That's probably the weirdest sound or wildest sound I've ever heard underwater. You really didn't even know it, TPK. Honestly. I mean, you heard it, but that's about it. Yeah, you really didn't feel a whole lot. You heard the air and the water, but you really didn't feel much. I can't say I've ever heard that, but I heard a lot of whales. Ever see whales? No, never saw any. Heard plenty of them. I mean, yeah, when we were on the surface, we'd be transiting on the surface, and you'd see whales every once in a while, I guess. Yeah. One of the coolest things I ever saw visually was we were transiting on the surface in the English Channel one time, and I was up in the sail of the submarine. That's the part that kind of protrudes out of the main vessel that stands up off the submarine. That's called the sail. I was up there one time doing lookout, just being a lookout, and it was at night, and we're going through the water, and there's the bioluminescence. Hey, John, we'll see you later, buddy. Thank you, brother. Thank you as well. And it would just flash the blue and the green, look like a really, really cool acid trip. Not that I would know what that's like, but I can imagine. And it was really, really wild looking. That was pretty freaking cool. Scariest thing that ever happened on a sub that I can actually talk about? Fire. Having a fire on board. That was pretty scary. Yeah. It was very scary. What personal items did I take? Oh, definitely limited space. So what leisure items did we take? Well, when I was in, Game Boys were really big. I had a Game Boy that I took. And then, like laptops and stuff towards the end. I mean, those started coming out. And, the handheld computer systems, computer gaming systems, Those got really popular. Guys would bring those for sure. Some guys would bring laptops. Yeah. And cigarettes and chewing tobacco, because if you needed something, you could always trade for it. Candy too. Cigarettes, chewing tobacco, and candy. Almost like prison. That sounds a lot like prison, but you know what? It worked. So, let's see. Is it bright? Yeah, it's all artificial light, neon, or not neon, but at times they did. At night, yes, Ian. At times you did keep it, and that was usually when you did keep it darker at times. And in sonar, it was dark just so you could see the screens better. But throughout most of the boat, regular lighting. Marianas Trench. We didn't do much by the Marianas Trench. Never made it over there that much. Rick, how much space was each person allowed? Oh, well, you pretty much had, like I said, you had your rack pan. And like I said, that was about 4 inches deep, about maybe 30 inches wide, and 6 to 6.5 feet long. That was your space most of the time. Now, you found creative ways to store other stuff, to store stuff that you wanted to bring, but that is what you were pretty much allotted. So, right on, Stuart. Used to. Oh, yeah, I used to be able to smoke on board. Not anymore. Oh, well, I know they did. Used to be able to smoke a lot of places on the boat, and then they kind of whittled it down to where you could only smoke like in one spot on the boat. And right now, I'm not sure if you can even. So I don't know for sure, John. But yes, you used to be able to. Thank you very much, Travis. Thank you very much. I don't know nothing about that, Jason. Yeah, they used to be able to smoke on board. USOs, unidentified submerged objects. If I would say yes. If USO stands for unidentified submerged objects, the answer is yes. What was my favorite thing to do? In my off time, I could watch movies, play cards. When I was on board, we operated on an 18-hour day, basically. So you stood 6 hours of watch. That means basically doing your primary duty on the submarine. And then you had 12 hours where you were off watch. Well, after you got right off of watch, then you had to do maintenance. So you had to do maintenance and upkeep on all your gear. So, but that was pretty much it. You were 6 hours on, 12 hours off. That was pretty much your rotation. There was a few of those, Ohio. Yep, definitely a few of those. Definitely a few smut mags making the rotation. Yep. If you were required to take them, each berthing area did have a couple of stand-up lockers that you could hang up stuff like that, Rick. It wasn't your personal space. It was for everybody in the bunk room, but you could hang them up. Some guys did fold them and keep them in their rack pans, yes. But you could hang them up in a couple of hang-up lockers that we did have. All right, Stuart. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you again for your service, my friend. Yeah, I've heard some strange stuff that I didn't know what it was. That's for sure. They served 4 meals a day. They served breakfast, lunch, dinner, and what we called mid-rats. Mid-rats, like I said, we rotated every 6 hours. So there was a meal every 6 hours. Mid-rats was something usually pretty easy, like beans and weenies, chicken wheels, corn dogs, something fairly easy. Leftovers from dinner quite frequently. Snack. No, with what you brought, yeah. I mean, they never really had, sometimes the cooks would make cookies and stuff like that and put them out. I mean, the food was okay. I mean, you had very limited fresh stuff, obviously, because when you were gone for 90 days, I mean, stuff just doesn't keep. You had milk for a little while. Talking about food, one of the worst things that happened on the boat as far as food, we packed out our freezer we were going to be gone for a while, and the cooks packed out the freezer. Well, they packed it out so far, and they had a lot of, meat in the freezer. Well, yeah, chicken wheels, chicken patties, just like breaded chicken patties. That's what we called chicken wheels. The galley, big kitchen. Big-ish, I guess I should say. That is true, Monster. Yeah, but beans and weenies was a big time favorite for mid-rats for sure. But they packed out the freezer, but they packed it so thick that the meat in the middle didn't freeze. So I'll let you think about that for a little bit. Raw meat in a confined space that did not freeze. Yes, ew. Ew is yes. So, every so often the cooks go in and they clean out the freezer, right? Well, they went in, they cleaned out the freezer, and they found this. Yes, it had started to rot, very definitely. So it had to come out of the freezer, and it was determined that it could not go back in the freezer. So if you're somewhere in the ocean trying to be stealthy, that you just can't go somewhere and throw away your trash. So the whole forward compartment smelled like rotting meat for quite a while. That was, whew. Oh. That was something. That was definitely something. All right, DC. Thank you very much, brother. Sorry, I'm going back to see if there's any other questions I might have missed. There's more than one bathroom. Definitely more than one bathroom. Let's see, on the smaller submarines, there were 1, 2. There were 2 bathrooms for the main crew. The CO and XO shared a bathroom. The officers had their own bathroom, and the chief petty officers had their own bathroom. So that's the bathrooms that were on board. So yeah. All right, Didier. Thank you very much for joining us, my friend. I know I've just been sitting here kind of rambling, but thank you very much for joining. It was great talking to you. Well, after a while, yeah, you'd get on each other's nerves without question. Yeah, because you can't get away from them. I mean, the very, very true. How many on board? The smaller boats, 100-ish. The bigger boats, 120, 125, right around there. Thank you very much, Didier. Thank you very much for joining us. But yeah. I mean, you had your good friends, of course. But of course, yeah, there were people that got on your nerves. And once they got on your nerves, it was hard to get off your nerves because you couldn't get away from them. You just had to deal with it. Hey, Dark Gravity, what is up? How you doing? Yeah, I'm just sitting here telling sea stories, kind of doing a live on Veterans Day, thanking all the veterans for their service, and just talking to some good people and having a good time. Hello, George. How are you? Yeah, I mean, you would definitely get on. You had to learn some self-control without a doubt. Oh, I seen a couple of. I saw a couple. We called them lower level rumbles, and guys went to lower level. They figured things out and came out of it on the other side. It's the way it was. All right, Rick. Thank you for joining. Thank you very much, my friend. It was good talking to you. Hope you have a fantastic night and a good rest of your week. Thank you very much, Paul. I greatly appreciate it. Well, I mean, there we go. There again, after the beans and weenies, like it got kind of ripe on board. But the food was we had one boat that the cooks were really, really, really good. And I tell you what, guys, food on a submarine can either make or kill morale. And that's no joke. That is no lie. I swear to God, the better the food is on board, the better the morale is. I swear. Food is a huge, huge deal on the boat. I know I heard a story about one of these boats here. They kept getting extended. They kept getting extended out to sea because boats were having issues and couldn't get out. And they were basically, from what I understand, they were basically having chicken nuggets like 3 meals a day. Which, wow, that would get old. And it was like that they said it was like that for almost a week and a half. Now, myself, I don't mind a chicken nugget every now and again, but every meal, every day for a week and a half, no. MPs. Do we have MPs on board? Not on submarines, no. Nope. We did not have MPs on board. When was my last day on a submarine? It was May 19th of 2009. That was my last day aboard a submarine. I didn't actually retire until June 30th of 2009, but I had I went on what we call terminal leave. That means I had so many days of vacation built up that you can go on terminal leave and just take the rest of your days of vacation. You can either keep them and they'll pay you for them, or you can just use them up. And I just used them up. So, yeah, think of McDonald's. Yeah, but McDonald's takeout chicken nuggets for a week and a half every meal? No. What was the worst meat I've had? I'm gonna stick to my Navy time, since that's kind of what we're talking about. And I tried caribou in Norway one time. And I'm gonna finish my caribou story now anyway. It does say meal. Sorry. But it was really, really, really rare. Did not like that. The worst meal on board, probably, I'm not a big fan of chicken. I'm really not. And we had baked chicken a lot on the submarine. But one, because chicken's pretty cheap and you can store a lot of it, but I really, and if it wasn't cooked right, it was getting pretty chilly towards the bone. Yeah. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Baked chicken. That was probably one of my least favorite meals on board. I know I really don't look like that, but trust me. Yeah, that was probably one of my least favorite meals. So, let's see. What else? How long? Wow, an hour and 10 minutes. An hour and 10 minutes. Holy smokes. Favorite meal. Everybody usually like chicken wheels. Chicken patties. Those are always good. I don't know why. I didn't say, then there you go. There's chicken, but it's kind of fake chicken. So, the little cordon bleus. We used to have the little frozen cordon bleus. Those were always pretty good. Breakfast was probably my absolute favorite meal because it's pretty hard to screw up breakfast. I mean, eggs. And one of the boats I was on, they always had omelets to order in the morning. And I mean, it was always better earlier in the patrol because you had the fresh stuff, like vegetables and stuff to go in it. So, but breakfast was easily probably my favorite meal on board. Yes, I was, I did 4 years of recruiting duty, which basically means I recruited for the Navy. I did 4 years of that, but I did 16 years of submarine service. Yes. Well, like I said, they were frozen. Those little chicken cordon bleus, they were frozen. So, I mean, all I had to do was warm them up. So, but they were pretty good. And then Saturdays was always pizza night. So pizza was always good. Saturday night for dinner was always pizza. Always and forever. I don't know why. I don't know what's 16. Yeah, 16 years. Yeah, 16 years of submarine duties. I did my last 9 years consecutive sea duty on a submarine. Oh, various submarines, I should say. Beans and weenies were good. Don't get me wrong. Beans and weenies were good. Let's see. Was there I'm thinking I'm missing a question. I thought I started answering a question and then I kind of got off track. My apologies. No beer on board. No beer on board. I can neither confirm nor deny that there may have been alcohol on board from time to time, but it definitely wasn't sanctioned. So there you go. Thank you, Newfoundland knife guy. Excuse me. Speaking of Newfoundland, kind of, sorta, but one of my favorite places that we ever pulled in was Halifax, Nova Scotia. That was a really, really fun place. Yeah, kind of, Paul. It kind of was like that. No, definitely not claustrophobic. Definitely not claustrophobic. Yeah, Halifax was really nice. It was a fun place. I mean, we went down, there was a place downtown. I forget what it was called, but there was a street downtown, and I think it was right next to the hockey arena, where there was like 5 or 6 bars all in a row, but you could go to each bar and never go outside. That was awesome. If you got bored in this place, you just went through a door and you were in a new place. That was cool. But I had a lot of fun there. When my first time we visited England, me and one of my very best friends, we got off the submarine and we went on into town. And the first pub we went to, we went up to the bar and the lady asked us what we wanted. And we answered. We said we both like a pint of whatever. And she looked us dead in the face and said, "We don't serve Yanks here." Okie dokie. So we basically went to a pub across the street, and we almost lived in that pub for about 5 days. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Least favorite place I've gone to. I don't know if there's a least favorite. I mean, that was one of the whole reasons why I joined the Navy, was to travel. I had a lot of fun. Yes, Paul. Portsmouth twice. That's exactly where it happened. That is exactly where it happened. Yes, indeed. I've pulled into Portsmouth twice. Yep, the first time we went into that pub. Yeah, that's what happened. Yes, indeedy. Oh, let's see. Any more questions? The least favorite place, though, I really don't. Yeah, I can't really say that I did. Ohio? Because that, like I said, that was the whole reason why I joined the Navy, was to travel. And it was a lot of fun. Where all have I gone? That's a good one. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Portsmouth, England twice. Faslane, Scotland. Bergen, Norway. Tromsø, Norway, probably. Oh my goodness. Tromsø, Norway, at least a dozen times. I've been to Tromsø, Norway, at least a dozen times. And then I didn't go many places on the West Coast because I was primarily stationed on the East Coast. But I did go to Hawaii and Saipan and Japan. Hawaii, Saipan, and Japan. That's where I was on the East Coast. Deepest I've ever been, greater than 300 feet. That's the official answer that I can give you, Monster. Favorite food I've had in a different country. Oh, I had a lot of that. Oh, no, it wasn't the caribou. It was not the caribou. That was not the worst thing I had. I had lamb shank in Scotland, and that was nasty. I'm sorry if there's any Scottish people in here. I apologize. But it was gristly. That was yucky. That was the first and only time I've ever eaten lamb. And it was, no, that was wrong. And I don't mean to insult anyone or anything like that. I just didn't like it. Let's see. My favorite food, though, back to Ohio, my favorite food was, they had these things called kebabs in Norway. And it was a Middle Eastern type restaurant, or it wasn't really a restaurant. It was basically just it was a counter. There really wasn't any tables. And it was like a pita pocket, and you could get like meat, kind of like a gyro. But then they just had all this stuff you could stuff in it. And oh my God, it was good. Oh, that was so good. How old was I when was I in the Navy? I joined the Navy at 17 and I retired at 37. That's the official answer, I'm afraid, Hollywood. Yeah, I just didn't like it because it had a lot of gristle in it. Maybe lamb chops, but what I had was no. It was not. No, it was yucky. I'm sorry. Is that what doner kebabs? That's what they call them. Well, and you have to understand, it was very good food, but all I can say, it was really, really, really good drunk food, and that should explain all that needs to be explained. It was great food after you've been out having fun with your buddies. Perfect for that. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. It was, but they were really good. Very, very good. But oh my goodness. Oh, almost an hour and a half. Yes. Yes, it did pair well, very well with beer. Well, I tell you what, guys, I'm going to get off here. I was doing this while Nellie was playing in her craft room. It sounds like she might be done doing that. So I think I'm going to go spend some time with my beautiful wife on this awesome Veterans Day. So, guys, thank you very much for doing this. This was a lot of fun. I'm really, no plains crafter. Never ate lamb in my life. So, except for the once, and never again. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you to all the veterans who have served out there. Thank you so much. I greatly respect and appreciate your service to this country. So I hope you all have a fantastic Veterans Day. I know I did it. I did. This just kind of made it just even a little bit more special that I could share it with you guys. So thank you all so very much. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night. Have a great week. I might see you guys, some of you guys tomorrow on Guys Talk Knives. But until then, remember, SKL this week, guys, 10 p.m. Pacific time. Much love and respect to you all. You have a fantastic night. Bye-bye, guys.